He played alongside one of the greatest ever. He won a Champions League with a historic goal in the final and was part of the best attacking trio in football history. But what if all of that had gone differently? In 2013, Neymar was about to take the biggest step of his career. On one side, Barcelona with Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta. On the other, Real Madrid with Cristiano Ronaldo, a team starving for European glory. The star picked Catalonia, but what if he had chosen Madrid? Today, we're diving into that alternate reality. How would Neymar fit into that Real Madrid? Would he form a lethal duo with Cristiano? Would he have won the Ballon d'Or? And what would it have changed in football history? Because trust me, it'd trigger a domino effect so wild that Real Madrid wouldn't win the 2014, 2018, or 2022 Champions League. And Bale and Benzema probably wouldn't loom as large in Real Madrid history. Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. was much more than just another Brazilian football prodigy. At only 21, the Santos forward had already become the country's biggest star, collecting titles, individual awards, and a massive army of fans. Seen as the natural heir to Brazil's legacy of flashy geniuses, Neymar was a phenomenon both on and off the pitch. His performance for Santos between 2009 and 2013 was insane. In just 4 years, he scored over 130 goals and gave fans unforgettable moments, including winning the Copa Libertadores in 2011, something Santos hadn't done since the Pelé era. He also won the Copa do Brasil in 2010, 3 straight Paulista championships, and was named South American Footballer of the Year twice, in 2011 and 2012. His style, full of dazzling dribbles, lightning speed, and fearless flair, made him an international sensation in no time. So, leaving Brazilian football was only a matter of time. European giants had been tracking him since his early days, and negotiations heated up between 2012 and 2013. The two main contenders, the eternal Spanish rivals, Barcelona and Real Madrid. Both were ready to spend huge money to secure the young Brazilian superstar. On Madrid's side, they offered a much stronger financial package, a higher transfer fee, bigger wages, and, of course, the chance to wear the heaviest jersey in Europe, one with 9 Champions League titles at the time and a history full of football legends. Barcelona, on the other hand, offered a more stable sporting project, built around a solid core and a playing style that could bring out Neymar's best. Players like Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets formed the spine of a technical, dominant team that had already won 2 Champions Leagues in just 3 years. And there was also the emotional factor. Neymar had always said Messi, Barcelona's biggest icon, was one of his greatest inspirations. So, the choice was made. In May 2013, Neymar officially announced his move to Barcelona, ending one of the most dramatic transfer sagas in football history. The decision instantly shook the European football landscape, especially the Barca-Real rivalry. Now tell me, which club would you have chosen if you were Neymar in 2013? Barcelona or Real Madrid? Drop your thoughts below. After Neymar landed in Catalonia, Real Madrid hit back in the market by signing Gareth Bale for 100 million euros. But even today, people still wonder, what if Neymar had chosen Real Madrid instead? What would his career have looked like in a team full of stars, global exposure, and endless hunger for trophies? That's where the famous domino effect begins, the one that would have changed football forever if Neymar had joined Real instead of Bale. Because this single decision opens up a whole alternate timeline for world football, and that's exactly the timeline we're exploring in today's video. In 2013, Real Madrid was in a phase of reconstruction and renewed ambition. The club had just finished the 2012-13 season without major trophies, falling behind Barcelona in La Liga and crashing out of the Champions League semifinals against Borussia Dortmund, with Robert Lewandowski scoring 4 goals in that infamous night. That disappointing campaign led to the departure of coach José Mourinho and the arrival of Carlo Ancelotti, an experienced manager with winning stints at Milan, Chelsea, and PSG, and that Real Madrid squad was already loaded with talent. Cristiano Ronaldo was the undisputed superstar, in the absolute prime of his career, physically unstoppable and technically unmatched. He was battling Messi year after year for the title of best player in the world. Alongside CR7, the team had elite names like Mesut Ozil, Karim Benzema, Angel Di Maria, Xabi Alonso, Sergio Ramos, Pepe, and a young Rafael Varane. The core was solid, but there was still room and need for new blood to finally turn potential into glory. The club's priority was crystal clear: build a squad capable of dominating Europe again. President Florentino Perez was obsessed with one mission: bringing home the long-awaited 10th Champions League title, La Decima. And he knew he needed young, decisive talent to help Cristiano lead the charge. Neymar looked like the perfect fit: skillful, marketable, used to pressure, and with the potential to become CR7's natural successor. His arrival would have created a truly explosive attacking line. But the big question was, how would he fit tactically? In theory, Neymar would play on the left wing, his most natural position for both Santos and Brazil. But that's exactly where Cristiano Ronaldo operated. The solution debated at the time, both by the press and analysts, was to move CR7 into a more central role, maybe as a false nine or a freer second striker, while Neymar kept his favorite spot on the left. Just imagine it: Neymar on the left, Cristiano in the middle. Would that work, or explode into pure chaos? What do you think, guys? Drop your opinions below. And hey, before we go deeper, smash that like button right now. Nice! Now, that tactical switch wouldn't have been crazy at all. Cristiano had already shown versatility, and given his insane finishing ability, playing closer to goal could have even boosted his numbers. In fact, starting around 2014-2015, Cristiano did begin that gradual transition, moving away from the left wing and operating more centrally, next to Benzema. With Benzema as the mobile reference point, and Neymar adding creativity and pace down the left, Real Madrid's attack would have become even more unpredictable and dangerous. Neymar could have slowly taken over the main role as Cristiano aged, creating a balanced and natural leadership shift. So, what do you think? Would Neymar have eventually replaced Cristiano as the team's leader? Or would their egos have clashed too hard? Let me know in the comments. It's worth remembering that, in real life, without Neymar, Real Madrid went all in for Gareth Bale in mid-2013 for around €100 million, the most expensive transfer ever at that time. Bale was the direct response to Barcelona's Neymar move. But if the Brazilian had chosen Madrid, Bale's arrival might never have happened, or at least it would have been under completely different circumstances. Yet Bale ended up deciding 2 Champions League finals for Real Madrid in 2014 and 2018. Without him, maybe Real would have missed out on those 2 titles, which, honestly, wouldn't make a huge difference to a club that practically collects Champions League trophies for fun. Neymar's arrival would have completely reshaped Real Madrid's entire dynamic. Players like Angel Di Maria, who shined during the 2013-14 season, might have found less space. The same could be said for Isco, who had just joined that summer. But on the marketing side, the impact would have been massive. Imagine Real Madrid having both Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar, 2 global icons capable of capturing the attention of Europe, South America, and even Asia at once. Under Carlo Ancelotti, Neymar might have also found a smoother path than most would think. The Italian coach is known for his calm, adaptable style, molding his system around his players' strengths and giving creative talents the freedom to express themselves. That kind of environment could have made Neymar's adaptation to European football even faster. And with that stacked roster, his growth curve could have been steeper than it ever was in Barcelona. Neymar joining Real Madrid in 2013 wouldn't just have been a technical reinforcement. It would have created tactical and psychological challenges. The team already revolved around Cristiano Ronaldo, alongside Karim Benzema and Di Maria. So the real question would have been, how do you fit Neymar into that mix without unbalancing the rest? Technically speaking, Neymar had and still has very distinct traits: explosive one-on-one skills, unpredictability, and a natural tendency to cut inside from the left to finish with his right foot. But that's exactly Cristiano's territory at Madrid. So how would that work? Option 1. Neymar stays on the left. Cristiano moves central. In that setup, CR7 would operate as a classic number 9, closer to goal, taking advantage of his finishing and strength, while Neymar stays wide left, on defenders, stretching defenses and creating chaos. Benzema would either shift to a secondary role or rotate, depending on the formation. Option 2, Neymar plays as an attacking midfielder, a free number 10. This version would place him centrally, floating behind the striker. He'd need more tactical discipline, focusing on creativity rather than pure finishing, similar to the role he later took at PSG. And under Ancelotti, a coach who thrives with hybrid systems and star management, that transition could have worked beautifully. Then there's the psychological factor. Cristiano Ronaldo was the alpha of that dressing room. Neymar, still young, would have to find his place carefully. Unlike Messi, quiet and reserved, CR7 had a dominant, commanding personality. Their coexistence could have been harmonious or combustible, depending on how fast Neymar started stealing the spotlight. From a tactical standpoint, Real Madrid's vertical counter-attacking style might have actually boosted Neymar's potential. The team thrived on quick transitions and wide spaces, perfect for his pace and dribbling. That freedom could have even led to more goals than he scored at Barcelona, where patience and possession ruled. But the million-dollar question is, would Neymar have won more trophies at Real Madrid? Maybe even a Ballon d'Or. Let's start with the trophies. Even without Neymar, Real Madrid had a glorious run starting from the 2013-14 season. Under Ancelotti, they finally achieved La Décima, the long-dreamed-of 10th Champions League, defeating Atletico de Madrid in that unforgettable final. They also won the Copa del Rey against Barcelona, the UEFA Super Cup, and the Club World Cup soon after. With Neymar in that mix, it's easy to imagine those successes continuing, maybe even improving. His creativity and unpredictability could have turned tight games into wins. If he had replaced Gareth Bale, who was decisive in those exact finals, Neymar might have been the hero scoring those iconic goals instead. The sprint past Bartra in the Copa del Rey or the extra-time header in Lisbon. Fast forward to Zidane's era, the three-peat between 2016 and 2018, and Neymar could easily have been part of that dynasty. Ever since he arrived in Europe, Neymar has always been the third man behind Messi and Cristiano. In 2015, during Barcelona's MSN peak, he even finished third in the Ballon d'Or race. But what if he'd been wearing white instead of blue and red? At Real Madrid, Neymar would have been under the brightest spotlight in world football. Historically, Madrid elevates its stars, especially when it comes to individual awards. If Neymar had delivered in the big games, Champions League semi-finals, finals, El Clásicos, he would have had every reason to challenge Messi and Ronaldo for that golden trophy. And as Cristiano aged, space would have opened naturally for Neymar to rise as Madrid's main man, especially around 2016 and beyond. Unlike Barcelona, where Messi's dominance remained absolute, Real would have offered a clearer path to leadership. So, yeah, with major titles, global marketing power, and consistent performances, Neymar could realistically have won a Ballon d'Or between 2015 and 2018, maybe even two. And being in a more competitive environment might have sharpened his mentality for Brazil too, possibly changing his legacy in World Cups and international tournaments. So, what do you think? Would Neymar have become an even bigger superstar wearing white? Or would the egos and pressure have burned the dream before it began? Drop your opinion below, and don't forget to smash that like button if you'd pay to see that alternate timeline play out.